Welcome to today's video. Now we're at something I've been meaning to go to for, well, since I started the channel. It's another free museum in London, but not only is it a museum, it's also an art collection and an Armory as well, which is absolutely incredible. It's completely free, and you never guess where it is. It's just behind Oxford Street in the West End. In fact, if you go to Selfridges, you're no more than about 50 yards from the place. This is the Wallace Collection. So join us as we go round and show you some of the highlights and some of the incredible art, including original Canalettos and Rembrandts here at the Wallace Collection, Manchester Square. Oh, by the way, did I mention it's completely free? So interestingly, the collection we're going to show you has been collected during the 18th and 19th centuries, and it's got all sorts of fine and decorative arts from the 15th to the 19th centuries, with holdings also really important 18th century paintings, furniture, arms and armour, porcelain, old master paintings, and it's got 25 galleries in total. Now some of them, like that one there at the bottom on the left hand side, looks like Bride of Chucky, but most of them are quite beautiful. And also I was bowled over when I sort of worked into different rooms, and you've got Canalettos in here as well. So it's quite vast. There's lots of little rooms and some big rooms as well. And some of it reminds me of the National Gallery over by Trafalgar Square. So in this video, what we want to do is give you some of the pictures and some of the things that you can come see so you can enjoy it yourself. By the way, this is the original Trafalgar Square looking down the Strand as painted long time ago, which is quite incredible. And it's interesting to see you've still got the King Charles statue there at the end. So yeah, you've got all sorts of stuff. There you go, you've got some Canalettos as well. And some of the Canalettos here are absolutely incredible. And you'd think actually it'd be in the National Gallery over at Trafalgar Square. Now, one of the things that was quite interesting, I was looking for a particular painting, because when you look at the Wallace Collection, they have the Cavalier, and I was asking one of the curators where it was, and actually they had loaned it to another museum. So sometimes things do move around. So if you're looking for something particular, there's many curators around and you can ask questions. But these are fantastic of Venice. I think the bit that really gets me each time I think about this place is it is so close to Oxford Street, but it's one of those treasures in London so many people don't know. And it's off another treasure actually, which is near St Christopher Place, which is all in the same sort of area. So if you're coming here and you fancy going for a meal before or after coming to the gallery, and by the way, the gallery is completely free, then actually you're in a lovely little neighbourhood in which to do it, and avoiding Oxford Street as well. Sweeping around this room, you get a sense of the size of the room, also how it's all set out, but also some of the furniture on display as well. In Sir Richard Wallace's will, he left it that the whole collection here in the house should be left to the nation. Now, the collection was opened up to permanent public view in 1900 here in the house, and remains here of course now. Now, a condition of his bequest was that no object should ever leave the collection, even for loan exhibitions. However, in September 2019, the Board of Trustees announced they had obtained an order from the Charity Commission which allowed them to enter into temporary loan agreements for the first time ever. Hence, that's why I couldn't find the Cavalier. Now, this area I'd call the sort of the Great Gallery, because it is quite a long gallery which goes along the whole length of the house. The house is also known as Hertford House, because it's always just referred to as the Wallace Collection here in Manchester Square, and it was the former townhouse of the Seymour family, who was the Marquis of Hertford, and it's named after Sir Richard Wallace, who built the extensive collection here. This is just one of those large paintings you have to stand back and really admire. So this is the picture gallery. It's at the back of the house and runs the whole length of it. And as you can see, look at the number of pictures that they've got here. And also these do keep swapping with the National Gallery as well, now that they've got that in place, which they put back in place in 2019. So they can actually do that and get around the bequeath. I think we're really lucky with places like Kenwood House and here, because you can get right up close to the painting, stand almost on them and see the brushstrokes where you're really lucky there. Or alternatively, you can also get up and almost, well, you can touch it if you wanted to. You can touch the ornaments. Now that's why you've got the curators there to stop people from doing that. You've got the chairs there as well. You've got all of the furniture, and you can just really get up close and have a good look, and there are no barriers from stopping you from doing this. Now this is one particular piece that caught Jaden and I's attention, this vase, and we're going to have a close look at it in a second, because when you first look at it, it looks like just a white porcelain vase. We're going to show you more close up, because this white vase, when you look closely, is made of lots and lots of little daisies making up the outer of the porcelain, which is quite incredible, and also just goes again to show how close you can get. So as you can see, we're here in the library, but just look at that chandelier hanging. Absolutely incredible. So I've mentioned already it's completely free, so you can get here and have a good look round and do so in your own time. One of the questions I quite often get asked is when I do tours like this is, how long does it take to get round? Well, it's like anything. Jaden and I spent about an hour going round, and we went round a couple of times, but we didn't look really finely into the details of it all. So really, you could probably spend a whole morning here or a whole afternoon. So if you're coming up, definitely allocate the time if you really want to have a good close look at lots of the paintings, lots of the details, and lots of the information that's to hand as well. And all these cabinets with the treasured porcelain here. These paintings are massive, and it's on this big stairwell, and you can imagine when this was a residence that the owners would come sweeping down the stairs as visitors arrived at the front door. So far we've shown you paintings, we've shown you bits of furniture and also different ornaments as well, but here we go downstairs and you've got a massive section which is the Armory section, showing you not just suits of armour but various weapons and things like that that have been collected over the years as well. So here, not only have you got suits of armour, but also right bang in the centre, you've got a cannon. Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. Plus, how about this? Going back from years gone by, bows and arrows as well as swords. The display in here almost takes you back to the White Tower in the Tower of London with all of the armour on the ground floor. And just look at the detailing on this shield. Really hope you're enjoying our video here of the Wallace Collection, which is one of those collections so many people don't realise is so close to central London, and one of those probably under-visited museums, but I'm so glad it's here. Anyway, if you're loving it, give it a thumbs up, and also if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you know what you need to do. These pieces are all Italian Renaissance pieces, which are absolutely incredible. And there you go. You can see there from about 1540 to 1550 in date. So that puts it at nearly 500 years old. If you're thinking you're making a trip up here to the Wallace Collection, easy to get to. You can go to Marble Arch Tube Station, or even easier with Bond Street, which has the Jubilee line, has the Central. Not only that, but it's also got the Elizabeth line as well, which connects you right really well with London. Also, if you're thinking of coming up here as well, there's a massive cafe where you can come and have lunch or have something to drink as well. Now, the place is open, the Wallace Collection is open between 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock every day, so you can get in here. And how about this? This is a dagger, and the dagger itself in the hilt is all full of rubies and all sorts of other precious materials as well. As was the tradition in stately homes to have a painting of the king up. So when people came round, you actually were showing your allegiance not only to the king, but also showing to other people that you were well connected as well. Again, this furniture just sitting there for you to look at, and you can see just by the side of it the gold label, so you can read all of the detail. And this is another classic painting. Now this room is situated right by the front door, so the guests would have come in through here, and hence you've got these cabinets showing all of these sort of beautiful ornaments and some lovely paintings on the wall as well. Fantastic. So, what did you think of the Wallace Collection? Is this something that you would like to come and visit here in London? Well, why not? It's completely free, and actually you can spend an hour or so, plus you've got a cafe and all the rest of it, so why not get down here? Anyway, if you love that and that art, I've put a link in the top right hand corner to our visit to the National Gallery on Trafalgar Square, which is another amazing free art gallery you've got to get to whilst you're in London. Who said London isn't free? Anyway, click on that and I'll see you in there.